You ever listen to a song and realize it's telling a complete, full story? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're looking at the powerful and actually really consistent narrative that you find inside reggae gospel music. It's this classic journey, right? One that really hits home for a lot of us.
And that entire journey kicks off right here with this one raw, honest line, drowning in pain. This single phrase just sets the entire stage for everything else that's about to happen. It establishes this deep, personal struggle that becomes the starting point for the whole story.
So, where do we begin? With The Storm. This is Act 1. These songs almost always open up by painting a picture of this intense, universal human struggle. It's all about setting up a problem that you just know needs a solution, a conflict that is begging for a resolution.
And right at the heart of this storm, what do you find? This feeling of being completely and totally weak. The lyrics are just filled with it. Phrases like, when I'm weak, or talking about a heavy heart, no strength, no power. It's that feeling of being completely unable to change your own situation.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we sift through stacks of sources to pull out those essential nuggets of knowledge, the insights that really inform and, spark those aha moments. Today, we're doing something, well, a bit different, a really unique deep dive. Our source material isn't a research paper or an article. It's something equally rich, I think, profound even. It's a collection of powerful, heartfelt lyrics from reggae gospel songs. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to really delve into these passionate expressions of faith, yes, but also just raw human experience. We're looking at them not just as poetry, but maybe as a kind of blueprint for navigating life's challenges. We're going to explore how these songs, with their unique blend of poetic language, vivid imagery, and that unmistakable reggae spirit, communicate resilience, hope, and the sense of unwavering guidance. It's about finding those core truths that resonate, really, regardless of your personal background.
Yeah, and what's truly remarkable here is how reggae gospel specifically takes these huge emotional and spiritual journeys and embeds them within a rhythm that itself kind of embodies perseverance and deep cultural resonance. It's not just the words, it's how that syncopated bass line, the driving drum beats, the vocal harmonies, they create this almost meditative space.
Yeah.
But it's often defiantly joyful too, right? It's a space where these complex human experiences become incredibly accessible and deeply impactful. We're going to explore how that unique blend really amplifies these universal human emotions, these aspirations, how it provides tangible comfort, maybe even the pathway forward.
That's a really powerful point you make about resonance, because as we start unpacking these lyrics, one theme immediately jumps out. It feels like the bedrock, really. This pervasive, undeniable embrace of grace and unconditional love. You hear lines like, "Your grace is enough to carry me through when I'm weak, and your love makes me new." Simple, but profound. But what really caught my attention was the line, "Your grace is enough, it goes the mile." It's interesting because when these lyrics declare, "Your grace is enough," enough can sometimes sound like, well, just the minimum needed, right? Just scraping by. But here, it feels like it's challenging that very definition, doesn't it? It suggests not just sufficiency, but this. radical abundance, something that completely redefines our capacity for strength precisely when we feel weakest. It's almost an inversion of that idea of pure self-reliance, wouldn't you say?
Well, that's a brilliant distinction, because it absolutely moves beyond mere sufficiency. These lyrics aren't saying you have just enough to squeak by. No, they're painting a picture of an overwhelming abundance, like an inexhaustible wellspring. And the real insight here, I think, is that the power isn't in trying desperately to be enough ourselves. It's more about acknowledging our human limitations and leaning into an external inexhaustible resource. It actually transforms weakness. It goes from being a liability to being the very gateway for profound strength and renewal. It's an anchor, not because it stops the storm entirely, but because it ensures you won't drift away. We see it clearly in lines like, "When the road is rough and I feel alone, your steady hand guides me back home." It's that unwavering hand, right? That consistent presence when everything else is just shifting and uncertain.
Right. So it's not just a passive thing, like waiting for a rescue package. It's an active assurance, a whole spiritual ecosystem almost. And it goes beyond just support too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The lyrics also talk about this love actively filling the gaps and healing the soul, ultimately making one whole. Look, so it's not just maintenance, it's profound holistic transformation. It's about being reassembled, put back together. Okay, so from that profound anchor of grace and love, these songs then plunge us right into life's storms, which are unavoidable, let's face it. And what I found really compelling here is how they don't just, acknowledge the struggle, but they offer a roadmap for navigating it. You see these vivid pictures emerging, finding serenity amidst the chaos. It's a recurring motif, almost like a spiritual survival guide. One of the most striking metaphors, I thought, was peace like a river. It's described as flowing through my soul, calming the storms, making me whole. Such an evocative image, this tranquil force moving right through the turmoil. And then there's, in every trial, you're my song, with you beside me, I am strong. This presence becomes your song, your source of strength. It makes me wonder, how does the musical form itself, reggae, actually contribute to that feeling of internal calm they describe?
That's a fantastic observation, because these lyrics really do excel at depicting both kinds of struggles, the internal ones and the external ones. We hear phrases like, "When the night is dark and filled with fear," or "When doubts arise and shadows fall." Very relatable feelings. Yet the consistent message, the counterpoint, is that a presence always near can quiet the heart and calm the mind. And often it's within that steady, almost hypnotic one-drop rhythm, so characteristic of reggae, that these declarations, like peace like a river, become more than just a statement. They become an embodied feeling, like a rhythmic mantra carrying you through the narrative of, when the night is dark and filled with fear. The music isn't just background noise. It's an active participant in calming the soul. What's crucial here, as you said, is that this isn't about avoiding storms. You can't, usually. It's about navigating through them, which raises that important question for all of us, really. How do we find that internal calm, that river of peace, when the external world feels utterly chaotic? I mean, who hasn't felt that sense of dread when the news cycle, or maybe just your own to-do list, starts feeling like a gathering storm?
Right.
Absolutely.
And the song suggests that you calm my fears when storms arise, and that your presence turns my weakness strong. They directly address those moments of internal turmoil. It's almost like they're offering a kind of lyrical blueprint for emotional regulation, a way to anchor yourself when those mental waves are crashing.
That's a perfect segue, actually, because after the storms, the lyrics consistently turn to another really powerful element, this unfading light of hope and guidance. The imagery of light is just everywhere in these songs. It's such a potent symbol for clarity, for direction, and ultimately for victory. I'm curious, how do these lyrics make light feel like such an active, almost living force, not just a passive symbol? The constancy of this light is emphasized again and again. Your light never fades, even in the night you shine through the dark and make all things right. Doesn't matter how deep the darkness gets, no shadow can hide your light, and it promises to always lead me home.
Well, diving deeper into that imagery, what really stands out about this light is exactly that it isn't just passive illumination. It's presented as an active, redemptive force. The lyrics describe this profound, almost transformative experience, being lost in silence, drowning in pain, right? Utter despair, until this light called my name like a gentle rain, which is such a beautiful phrase.
It really is.
And that calling then filled my soul with sacred peace and gave my weary heart release. It's a metaphor that speaks to a sudden, gentle, but incredibly powerful intervention, something that shifts a person from total despair to profound peace. It's not just seeing a way out, it's being actively called out of the darkness. And it kind of invites us, doesn't it, to consider those moments in our own lives.
Yeah.
Times when maybe a glimmer of hope or a clear path suddenly emerged from what felt like utter despair.
Yeah.
That unexpected moment of clarity and confusion, perhaps. Or that quiet whisper of guidance when you felt completely lost. The psychological comfort implied in that gentle rain, relieving the feeling of drowning in pain.
Yeah.
That's something deeply universal, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And from navigating those internal storms and being guided by this active light, the lyrics then lead us somewhere else, to another deeply human need. These profound themes of finding shelter, of being actively lifted up, and maybe most importantly, this unwavering act of trust. Because let's be honest, sometimes you just need to put your burdens down, right? Like trying to carry all your groceries in one trip, eventually something has to give. These lyrics get that.
That was a great analogy.
They convey this deep sense of being held securely. They describe a literal shelter and a place of rest. You hear things like, "In your arms I rest, no need to fear," and you whisper peace into my soul. Very comforting images. And there's also that repeated affirmation, "You lift me up when I'm falling down, and you are my shelter in the pouring rain."
It is such a relatable analogy. And this concept of shelter, it really extends beyond just physical safety. It's about overcoming these profound physical and emotional burdens. The lyrics repeat it often. Every burden I lay it down, you lift me up when I'm falling down. So this isn't just about being rescued passively. It's about this active reliance on a higher power or maybe an unwavering principle for strength, precisely when you feel utterly weak. When you feel like you literally can't stand on your own 2 feet. We see phrases like, "You lift me higher when I'm falling low, and you light the fire when the cold winds blow." It illustrates this really active support.
So is there a point where that reliance, that leaning on something external could be seen as, I don't know, misinterpreted? Or is it always presented as empowering?
Well, what the lyrics consistently demonstrate is that the source of this incredible strength lies in that active verb, trust. It's presented as a core action, a choice. I will trust in you when the road is rough, when the journey is long and the world is tough. This trust is framed as the very wellspring of strength needed to endure any trial. It involves the heart choosing to walk your way and trusting a guiding hand to lead you to the promised land. So it's a conscious decision to lean into that external support, especially when our own capacities feel completely overwhelmed, which is actually a pretty powerful counter-narrative to the common cultural insistence on absolute self-sufficiency, isn't it?
That makes perfect sense. It is an empowering choice, not just a surrender. And when we pull all these threads together, the grace, the peace, the light, the shelter, the trust, what emerges isn't just a list of themes, it's a powerful, universal narrative arc, a journey, one that really speaks to anyone who's ever felt lost, I think. It shows this transformation from weakness into this undeniable declaration of victory. The lyrics really map it out, from sinking deep in fear and doubt to having one's feet placed on solid land. That's a true metamorphosis. You can really feel that profound change in lines, like, "I'm stronger with you, I'm no longer afraid, you've broken the chain, you show me the way." It speaks of moving from feeling lost or sinking deep to having your feet planted firmly and your spirit set free. "I'm healed, I'm made whole." It's like a declaration of a complete new state of being, a transformation.
Exactly. And as we look at the culmination of these themes, what's so powerful is how victory and peace are portrayed. They aren't just a final destination, like, okay, struggle's over, now peace. They're presented more as a continuous experience, something maintained even within the ongoing battle. Life still happens. The lyrics emphasize that with this guiding force, the heart will always fight and abide. It endures. And this illustrates that resilience isn't really the absence of struggle, is it? It's the capacity to maintain hope and strength through the struggle. And that naturally leads to this deep, abiding sense of gratitude.
God.
The journey described is one of sustained reliance, not just a one-time fix, it's ongoing. And this sustained support, logically, leads to this outpouring of gratitude and praise. You hear it clearly. "I will praise you all my days and lift my hands in endless praise." And also, with grateful heart, I'll always say. It becomes this continuous feedback loop. You receive strength, you express thanks, and that reinforces the very source of that resilience.
So, after this deep dive into these amazing reggae gospel lyrics, what does this all mean for us? What's the takeaway? The journey described is incredibly powerful, isn't it? From feeling alone and weak, through finding unwavering support, experiencing peace in the middle of chaos, receiving guidance in darkness, and ultimately arriving at this place of strength and wholeness. It's really a testament to the human spirit's capacity to find comfort and courage even when the world feels completely overwhelming. And I think beyond any specific doctrine, what's undeniably compelling here is the sheer power of these lyrical expressions. How they tap into universal human needs. They don't just describe enduring love, persistent hope, and inner peace. They seem to actively construct a framework for resilience. They turn these abstract concepts into tangible anchors for navigating life's most turbulent ups and downs. It's like a pragmatic, emotional, and spiritual blueprint all rolled into one.
Beautifully put. And perhaps the true power of these deep dives into human expression, whether it's through song like this or story or art, isn't just in understanding the message itself. Maybe it's also in recognizing that universal human need for an anchor, for something solid when life's currents run strong. So the question becomes, what do you lean on? What's your anchor when the road gets rough and the night feels long?